this morning with all that is happening in Ghana, pertinent to you as a Ghanaian. Today on ABC in the morning, we'll bring you Front Story. On Front Story, we are looking at depoliticizing the Boko conflict, the long-standing Boko conflict. In our business fix today, we are looking at life after retirement. So how do you plan for life after retirement? And into our discussions, we will be looking at Ghana's security ahead of the 2024 elections and so many other conversations that will be coming up. So we are looking forward to interacting with with some experts, with some guests who will throw lots of light on our conversation, so that all of us will be better people after the conversations. In the same vein, we'll be looking forward to speaking with you on the show as you share your thoughts and your insights on the various conversations we will be having. So you can call us on 053-916-1609, 053-916-1609. We will open the phone lines so that you too would have your say on ABC in the morning. We are live on YouTube. The channel is ABC News GH, and our socials are at ABC News GH _. We'll be so glad to interact with you. We will also bring you executive interview, where this segment is for you and you alone. You get in touch with us via the number I mentioned earlier, and we will be glad to host you on executive interview. It is for your product, your service, your startup, anything that is important, and will also go a long way to help us as Ghanaians. This is what we have for you on ABC in the morning. You will enjoy the show today. It will be an interesting and educative one, so you want to stay with us throughout the show. I am Abuna Mante. We'll be back. Stay with us. Welcome back. This is ABC in the morning, live on ABC News GH. Let's get straight into our front story for today. In our front story, we are looking at depoliticizing the long-standing conflict in Boko. It's a troubling development from the Upper East region, and we will place emphasis on it and look at how we can depoliticize the conflict in Boko. This is Front Story on ABC in the morning. Depoliticizing the long-standing conflict in Boko. In a troubling development from the Upper East region of Ghana, tensions have once again flared in the town of Boko, where resurgence in the long-standing conflict has claimed at least 16 lives. The Boko conflict is a long-standing issue in the Upper East region and revolves around the prolonged chieftaincy disputes between the Mamprasi and Kusasi ethnic groups, both of which claim the rightful authority to the Boko Naba title. This deep-rooted rivalry has frequently led to violence, with periods of calm interrupted by escalations. According to experts, the long-standing conflict, which has plagued the nation for years, resurfaced after the return of rival chief Alhaji Seydou Abagri from exile. In the lead-up to this, the High Court had initially issued a warrant for the arrest of the new chief as it deemed its enskinment as illegal. However, A court of appeal a few days afterwards reversed this and withdrew the arrest warrant, a decision which paved the way for the chief to return to the area and sparked tension and subsequently led to gunshots leading to several deaths and injuries. This renewed violent clash is said to have begun with the alleged killing of an 11-year-old girl by one of the factions involved in the clash. So far, more than 20 casualties have been recorded, and government in response to these developments has enforced the curfew in Bawku starting from October 28, 2024. The curfew, effective 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. daily, aims to manage the heightened tension stemming from a chieftaincy dispute, as stated in the directive signed by the Deputy Minister for Interior, Honorable Nana Eya, and released on October 28, 2024. Would have more on this Bawku conflict, but we have Honorable Cletus Avoka, who is the MP for Zebila East. Let's have a conversation with Honorable Avoka on all of these. Good morning, Honorable. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning to you and to all your listeners.
Honorable, Bawku conflict is worrying. Ghanaians are concerned about what is happening in Bawku. Some even say that Bawku has become a ghost town because of what...
Can you raise your voice more for me?
Okay. Honorable, can you hear me better?
Yes, better.
The Bawku conflict is a worrying situation for all of us as Ghanaians, regardless of where we live. And many have described Bawku now as a ghost town because for fear of lives, you don't find many people in Bawku. Honorable, this situation, how can we end it and end it once and for all?
How can we do what?
How can we end this situation and end it once and for all?
Yeah. You are right. I mean, the Bawku conflict is a source of worry to everybody in Ghana. It shouldn't be limited to the people in Bawku because it's not only Bawku people or Kusake Mapuche people who are there. There are different types of people. And then Bawku has been a commercial center, a business center. So a lot of people come from the south, come from outside the country, and they do business in Bawku. But for the past 4 years, like you have observed, Bawku has become a ghost town. The Waka hospital that used to serve people in the whole of Upper Israel and even beyond has virtually collapsed. The commercial activities in Bawku have come to a standstill. The banks, the financial institutions have closed. And life is no more that it used to be. Indeed, they have been curfew there for 4 years now. And it has even been varied today from to start from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And then the people there don't ride motorcycles for 4 years now. And therefore, they cannot do business like going to the farm or going to school, etc., etc. So I agree with you that the situation in Bawku has become very, very critical. The way forward is for government. The government came out with a statement 2 days ago, and the government has appropriately diagnosed the problem. The government says that the problem is that there is an illegal chief parading himself in Bawku. Somebody called Tedo Abagre, who was enslaved in February last year by the Nairi, and then he has been able to get his way to Bawku. And then that has brought about reignited the conflict. If the government has made this diagnosis that there is one person there whose presence is causing the problem, and that the person is an illegal chief, and that will cause the trouble, then the solution will not be difficult again. It's if we didn't know what are the causes that we can have problem, but if you know the cause, then government must be able to handle the situation. They must be able to handle Tedo Abagre, and that will bring an end to the hostilities. So that is I want to make an appeal, a very, very passionate appeal to the government. They have kept innocent soldiers and police there for 4 years. We have spent so much money there keeping peace, keeping them for peace in our own country for 4 years, just because of the interest of one person, Tedo Abagre. Just because of the interest of one person. And they talk about chieftaincy. There are no chieftaincy dispute in Bawku. It's militancy and then the criminality that is going on. And not chieftaincy. Chieftaincy matter have been resolved up to the Supreme Court in 2003. And the Bawku has been there for 40 years. without any lack of hindrance. Why today? So the government should be very sincere. The government must be very empathic and call a spade and remove the bad nut from the rest of the ground so that we can be free. That is what I can say. If the government had the political will to handle State Abakri, that will bring an end to the hostility.
Honorable, you say the government, you say that government must be sincere.
Yeah.
Why would you say that? Do you presuppose that government has not been fair or insincere in all of its dealings with this Boko conflict?
Yes, I'm saying so against the backdrop of the events that have happened for the last 4 years, culminating to the current state that we find ourselves. In 2021, before 2021, the Mamprisi in Boko said that they were going to perform a late chief funeral, and then this chief died in 1981, and as a Muslim. The Mamprisi chief died in 1981 as a Muslim. The funeral was performed by way of the Muslim custom. And if you take 1981, PNDC came and passed 11 years. They didn't talk about funeral again. Rawlings for 8 years, they didn't talk about funeral. President Kufuor came for 8 years, there was no issue of funeral. Atamils and John Mahama came for 8 years, there was no talk about funeral. It's only during Nana Akufo-Addo's second term that the issue of funeral came about. Government even took an injunction. The government, not any other fellow, took an injunction to restrain them from performing the funeral. They refused. They disrespected this court order and went ahead to perform the funeral. Government arrested them from Boko and brought them to Accra, gave them red carpet treatment, and they went back to Boko, drumming. Instead of government sending them to court and citing them for contempt of court, so that they will respect the law, the government didn't do that. Then they said that the government security led them, the Mamprisis, all the way from Boko to Nadergo in the East region for the Nigeri to enskin one person. The government had the intelligence that if they went to Nadergo, they were going for a scheme. The government had the intelligence. You can't say that the Mamprisis beat the entire intelligence network of the Ghana government. It couldn't have happened. Government knew, was complicit. And as if that is not enough, government then said that this is an illegal enterprise by the Nigeri, the enskinment is illegal, Abakri is an illegal chief, and the government went to the High Court in Bolgatanga and got an arrest warrant in February 2023, last year, on his head, that if they spot him anywhere, they will arrest him and prosecute him. This year, the Court of Appeal reversed the decision of the High Court and said that it shouldn't be the High Court that had jurisdiction to do it. It should have been done by the District Court. The government filed an appeal against the Court of Appeal ruling to the Supreme Court. Then the following day, the government discontinued the action. Then we told government that then go back to the District Court and get a fresh arrest warrant so that he doesn't go to Boko. They sat back and watched. Then the man went back to Boko. And this is what is happening. So if the government supervised or knew and supervised these things all along, why wouldn't say that government is responsible for the state of affairs in Boko?
But Honorable, the same government is putting in place measures to bring calm to Boko. In a recent press conference by the Ministry of Chieftaincy,
they are not doing firefighting. You stop the fire, you fuel the fire, and then you are now trying to quench it.
Honorable, you're saying government is the one stoking the fire.
But I'm explaining to you. The government had all the machinery. The government had all the opportunities, had the power. The president is the chief executive, the commanding chief of the Ghana Armed Forces of Ghana. Bawumia is the chairman of the Police Council of Ghana. It's Vice President Bawumia's people, Mamprisi, who are doing this in Boko.
Honorable, it is for this reason that we are looking at how to depoliticize it. When you bring in Vice President's people being a part of it, that his people are the Mamprisi people, it goes to speak that, it goes to add credence to what people are saying, that the happenings are playing into the courts of both political sides in the country.
Okay, let me give you. We are not talking out of emotion or anything. We are talking about facts. We've been following this thing, and we are trying to take politics out of it since 2021 that the violence erupted. The Attorney General is a representative of the government. The Attorney General is a representative of the government. When the appeal was being conducted, they didn't go there. to contest the appeal. Now, when the government lost the appeal in Kumasi at the appeal court in Kumasi, they filed a notice of appeal to the Supreme Court. The following day, they withdrew. For what were the reasons? Then I called the Attorney General. I called the Minister for National Security on Monday, 21st of October, and appealed to them that they should go back to Bolga and get a fresh warrant at the district court. They didn't do that. They had also abandoned the appeal. So what was the effect? They even assured us that, in fact, they will mount surveillance on him, secret surveillance on him, that he cannot enter Boko. And he entered Boko. My sister, my daughter. I mean, what else can we say? If somebody has the authority, the power of the state to prevent something, to do something, the fellow doesn't do it, what do you say about that? What reason would you give to that? Is it apathy? Is it incompetence? Is it complicity? Whatever description, tell me, what will you ascribe to what the government has done?
But, Honorable, is this the time
Look, listen, for 4 years, they have been curfew in Boko. 4 years, since 2021, curfew. Where does this happen? In our own country. Number two, people don't wear smokes in Boko for 4 years. Traditional dress, they are barred from wearing it for 4 years. People don't ride motorcycles in Boko. I know that in the rural areas, that's the means of transport. Teachers going to school, parents dropping their children to school, going to market, going to farm, etc. For 4 years. And they are watching.
Well, Honorable,
I'm sure we shouldn't talk about government. Who can me and you do it? We don't have the power. We don't have the authority. We don't have the means. Government has the power. We entrusted government with that power to take control of situations so we can live in peace and harmony. If it is not government, then who?
Honorable, let me ask you about the closure of the courts in Boko and surrounding areas. Okay. Your constituency has also been affected. The district court in Zabila will also be closed as directed by the Chief Justice. And this means that you have some issues when it comes to swift adjudication of cases. As your constituency will also be affected, what are you doing in the interim to mitigate the situation? Would you be writing to the Attorney General and then maybe and subsequently to the Chief Justice to understand what can be done, what can better be done for your people? Because obviously there are some cases in courts that will need to be adjudicated.
Well, the Chief Justice took the various factors into consideration before closing the court, basically in the Upper East region. And that is another challenge, because if there are people who are already standing trial and in these courts that they have closed now, and then they have denied them, the courts have been closed down, they have been denied justice. Where are they going to send them for trial? They cannot send it to the Northeast region because that is not part of the problem. I mean, what you are aware that between Tamale and Bolgatanga, you pass through Arawale, that transit, international transit, the mountain police have blocked those roads and are searching vehicle from vehicle to vehicle, picking up Kusaki people or sympathizers and killing them. They have done that for a whole day in Arawale, and there was no security intervention. There are many buses on that front route, and there is no security intervention. Are we in a lawless state? So the Chief Justice, I sympathize with her when she has closed the courts, because you cannot guarantee that people will not gather in the court and somebody will come and attack them. So I'm only praying that once the government has diagnosed the problem that is because of Seydou Abakre present in Boko, the government should do the needful. And I know that as soon as Seydou Abakre is out of the system, and then the peace is installed, the Chief Justice will not have any difficulty in opening courts for them to do normal work. In fact, the Boko Circuit Court and District Courts were closed since 2022. They have been closed for the past 4 years. It's only the recent one that they have now added the court in Bolgatanga and then Bongo and the rest of them. Elizabeth was working until recently. So I think there's a lot on the part of government to do to be able to restore normalcy in the Boko area, because we are gearing towards elections. Elections is 1 month, some few days.
Yeah,
And if this stalemate continues,
yes.
how are we going to have elections?
That was one of the questions I was going to come to. Elections, campaigning in Boko and its environs. How has it been? Are you facing any challenges with campaign? Does it look like there may not be elections in Boko and its environs as it stands?
There must be. Government must do everything possible to ensure we must have elections there. Otherwise, how do you declare a presidential candidate when there are 6 constituencies that did not take part in the election? How are you going to declare a presidential candidate? Or that Boko alone should hold Ghana, the entire country, to ransom? No. There must be elections. How can you have parliament without 6 members of parliament from the precise area? They must have representation. So it is incumbent upon government to use everything, every energy at its disposal, every means at its disposal to restore peace in Boko, so we can have elections. And don't also forget that Boko share border with Burkina Faso and Togo, and these are virtually becoming failed states because of the insurgencies of bandits and then jihadis and extremists in Burkina Faso and partly in Togo, and Boko shares the border with them. So if you don't put our act together, they can take advantage, and Boko has become vulnerable for Ghana and enter. That is the challenge. So there are so many. Boko is the stakes in Boko is so high that government must commit its energy to it.
The stakes in Boko are high. Government must commit to it. Honorable, we are grateful for your time this morning. In subsequent conversations, we would be glad to engage you again.
Thank you, ABC.
Thank you. Honorable Cletus Aboka is the MP for Zebila East. He says that government is complicit in this Boko conflict and governments must do everything to restore calm in Boko. He has said all of these and says that in this election, governments must do everything that must be done to make sure that there are elections held in Boko. Well, conversations about depoliticizing the conflict in Boko. Let's listen to some of these.
I also thank them for the peace that we're enjoying, because without peace there can be no progress. Unfortunately, any time the peace of Ghana will be disturbed, it is the MPP government that is in power. Recently, I've been hearing some things happening in Boko that appear to be threatening to disturb the peace there. I just appeal to the people of Boko area and all those who are stakeholders in what is happening there to exercise patience, exercise restraint. We know that there are some sinister hands who are trying to stoke the fires of ethnic conflict. They should not allow themselves to be provoked to violence. And so please, the people of Boko area, I'm begging you, I'm pleading with you, remain calm, be restrained, don't resort to conflict. NDC is coming. When we come, we will make sure there's peace in Boko.
Misinterpretations that are being given by the various factions in this matter that sometimes seeks to inflame passions and designed to escalate the situation. In a way, I sense some level of mistrust that has crept in since last week, but I want to assure all sides that the trust you have had in myself, especially as your minister responsible for chieftaincy matters and with the government, must be maintained. Government, through my ministry and that of my colleagues and institutions, will keep listening to you and act with impartiality. The situation. I wish to call on all sides to lay down their arms and cease firing at each other. In this regard, I wish to reiterate our press release yesterday, and I quote, "Government is committed to taking all necessary measures to ensure the safety and security of the people of Boko and its environs. Security agencies have been directed to enforce strictly."
We're still on the conversation on depoliticizing the long-standing conflict in Boko. Adib Sani is a security analyst and he joins us. Good morning, Adib. We are grateful for your time.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Adib, the Minister for Chieftaincy says that we should depoliticize the conflict in Boko. However, recently, presidential candidate for the NDC says that anytime there are security issues in Ghana, the NPP is in government, and that the people of Boko should be calm. NDC is coming. Will we even be able to depoliticize this issue, seeing as some are tending to score political points with the conflict?
Well, it depends on which side of the coin you are talking about, because we have positive political interference and we have negative, because the thing is, we cannot resolve this conflict without government, without political will, especially on the part of the various parliamentary candidates or members of parliament from that area. There's a lot at stake, hence the need for us to use all available resources and opportunities to be able to do it. And definitely the politicians play a very critical role. So I would want to see the political interference bit of it geared towards peace building. Okay. However, there's this other negative politics that has crept so deep into the conflict, and that is unfortunately exacerbating the situation. I wouldn't want to say which political party is responsible for what, or under which regime. Is there more violence or no violence at all? I think we need to be mindful of the fact that we cannot solve this using the good old approach. All right, I don't know what plans the NDC has, but of course, when NDC was in power, the Boko conflict still was there. You know, this is a conflict situation that predated modern Ghana, and so I would just wish that politicians show more goodwill, more interest, and above all, more commitment towards dealing with this issue once and for all.
What should be a successful depoliticized peace building process in Boko? What should it look like both in the short and long term?
We need all political parties to commit to this. We wouldn't want a government to start it, go into opposition, then the new government, throws it into the bin. Just as we did with the Dagbon issue. I remember before the solution to the Dagbon issue, I got a call from then Minister of Information, Honorable Kojo Apon Nkrumah, as a stakeholder. It was like, this is what we wish to do because it's in the interest of the people of the North and we need your support. And truly, we gave them the support they needed. There was support from all across the political divisions, okay? So for me, what I wish to see is depoliticization of the whole issue. We need to look at it as it should be looked at rather than from a political lens. So for example, the elephant in the room has got to do with chieftaincy. All right. So how do we address that elephant in the room? Then issues of criminality, criminal networks taking advantage. Then we also have issues of proliferation of small arms and light weapons. I'm not sure the guns can differentiate between NDC supporters or MPP supporters. It consumes everybody. Issues of law enforcement. Those are the issues we should be looking at rather than politics. You see, when you do politics with issues such as Boko, you end up diverting the attention from the crux of the matter to trivialities. And it makes nonsense of all the efforts that have been made in the past and present, and rather would push all efforts aimed at bringing peace into the bin. So we need to be really careful, and we need to commit and go beyond the petty politics, which in my opinion is not really helping matters.
Adib, in the long process, how can whatever decisions the various political parties take, in hopes that they come together to take a decision that will help stabilize Boko, how can that process remain resilient against future influences?
Okay, so we need a national approach to dealing with the issue. We don't have to make it only government approach. Okay, I know government is national, but I mean, you know how political we are in this country. It should be a national approach made up of all of those stakeholders who matter, from the politicians across the political divide to the chiefs, to the CSOs, the NGOs on the ground, to even the international communities. Okay? So by approaching it holistically and deliberately, we should be able to make headways. But the most important thing to this is commitment, okay? And that national plan to dealing with the Boko should not just be restricted to Boko. We should look at the wider issues. We have about 350 unresolved chieftaincy and land disputes. The fact that the guns are silent doesn't mean there's peace, okay? At any time, things can blow out of control. So, in as much as we're concerned about external threats, in my opinion, the internal threats pose a bigger, more potent existential threat to our peace and security than even the external ones. That is why there's the need for that national strategy to deal with all of these chieftaincy and land disputes. But it will take courage to be able to achieve that.
It will take courage. Adi, the minister says that the Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs says that he has appointed Asante-Hene to mediate the Boko chieftaincy conflict. Will this appointment of the Asante-Hene to mediate this conflict, will we see any developments? Are we confident that we will see a headway?
Well, the Asante-Hene was instrumental alongside the Committee of Eminent Chiefs in finding a solution to the Dagbon chieftaincy crisis. He's well respected, he's knowledgeable, and I do know that in the past he's spoken with some stakeholders involved in the whole Boko issue, either directly or indirectly. But since then, I don't know what has become of it. He's also busy with other things. So I wonder whether the attention given to Dagbon is the same attention that has been given Boko. Boko is more complex than Dagbon. Dagbon, at least, is within the same ethnic group, but with Boko, we are talking about two different ethnic groups who have taken very entrenched positions. That is making it cumbersome to, keep people level-headed so far as accepting certain terms and conditions are concerned. And I must say, it will take persons such as Asante-Hene or even the Yana to, as it were, find ways to deal with this issue. But they cannot do it alone, like I indicated. We need a multi-sectoral approach and a multi-dimensional approach as well to dealing with the issue.
Adib, when you say multi-sectoral or multi-dimensional, we know Asante-Hene and other prominent chiefs the minister has mentioned. Which other sectors would you say should be a part or should be players in this de-escalating of the conflict?
Okay, so we can talk about the Peace Council, the Office of the National Chief Imam, the Christians Council, and other religious associations or groupings. Politicians play a very critical role. International organizations and even the diplomatic community, such as the U.S. Embassy, I mean, they can impose travel embargoes on certain individuals who are causing all of these violence. Then we have NGOs on the ground, like my center, the Jetski Center for Human Security and Peace Building. We've been doing a lot of work in that area. We've been doing the best we can to de-escalate the situation and all that. But of course, we are limited. Okay. Then the security services, the traditional authorities, the houses of chiefs, of course, even the judiciary. Parliament also has a role to play. The media is one of the most important and critical elements to this. And so that is what I mean by multi-sectoral, okay? With the multi-dimensional, the thing is our strategy has always been limited to deployment of police and military personnel. Then, beyond that, curfews, and that's it. Those approaches don't resolve any conflict, okay? So what we are saying is, let's approach it, because it's a multi-dimensional issue made up of chieftaincy, criminal networks engaged in drug trafficking, weapons smuggling, human trafficking. We're talking about, certain socio-economic deficits in the area, youth unemployment, the issue of proliferation of small arms and light weapons, the issue of border security, the possibility of terrorists taking advantage. Look, the issues are many. So if we are going to address many issues, what do? You use many approaches. That is why I said multi-dimensional. Okay, so by addressing the chieftaincy, human insecurities, providing jobs for young people, ridding the place of these, weapons. How do we achieve that? Small Arms Commission would play a very important role. However, when you look at the books, when you look at the law, Small Arms Commission is only an advisory body rather than a regulator. So there's a lot the Small Arms Commission cannot do. So by making Small Arms Commission a regulator, we will be indirectly working to rid Boku of all of these arms. Okay? How about the criminal networks? What do we do? Intelligence. We need to gather intelligence. How about cross-border issues? We need to work collaboratively with the Burkinabes, particularly with the Tokulis. Share intelligence and all that. So it's a cacophony of different elements that should come to play to be able to deal with this issue once and for all.
Adi, we are grateful for your time this morning.
Pleasure is mine.
Adib Sani is a security analyst. He says that we need multi-sectoral and multi-dimensional approach to this issue of Boko. Let's take a look at Boko, the Boko conflict. What is it, and what has necessitated this conflict for so long? What's brought about this conflict and has necessitated that the minister speak about it? So these are the deaths and casualties in Boko. Over 200 fatalities since November 2021 in a space of only 3 years. 200 fatalities and over 5 deaths in gun-related clashes in February 2024 alone, and more than 15 fatalities reported in the recent clash. These are some of the underlying causes of the Boko conflict: a long-standing chieftaincy dispute between the Kusasi and Mamprusi ethnic groups, an influx of sophisticated arms, including AK-47s and G3 rifles, likely smuggled from Burkina Faso, and suspected terrorist activities excavating the conflict. And these are the implications of the conflict. Over 1,000 people displaced to nearby towns such as Bolgatanga, Navrongo, and Sandema, increasing pressure on local resources, and the widespread business closures and high unemployment rates due to instability in the area. These are some of the issues coming out of Boko, and 27 maternal deaths have been reported between 2021 and 2022 due to restricted healthcare access. 246 teachers that requested transfers from 2021 to 2023, contributing to low school attendance, and over 500 soldiers deployed, stretching government resources to meet security demands. It's always said that anytime there is conflict, children and mothers suffer the more. Children, because your schooling will be affected. Mothers, you've just seen how maternal deaths have been recorded, a number of maternal deaths because of the lack of access to healthcare. These are some of the issues that crop up when conflicts come up, and we're looking forward to the day when these conflicts, especially the Boko conflict, will be resolved and resolved once and for all. This is all for Front Story today on ABC in the morning. Subsequently, we'll bring you more on this issue. Let's get straight into the latest in sports and trends. Derek Kumiki-Siedu and Eric Melutrinebwa are on ground to bring us all we need. Stay tuned.
We are currently here at Kanishi.
When the news breaks, we are there. In the heart of matters arising, we follow through with the right question. Don't miss a beat with our in-depth news analysis. From breaking news, special feature stories, latest news, we bring you the stories that matter. Our team of immersed reporters bring you the news as it happens. Join us every 6 a.m., 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. each day for a comprehensive look at the stories beyond the headlines.
2 to 1.
You're watching ABC News GH.
ABC News GH, your trusted source for news.
Hello there, good morning and welcome to the sports segment here on ABC in the morning. I am Derek Kumiki-Siedu. Now let's do some sports now, as FIFA will hold an important meeting with representatives of the Ghana Football Association and relevant operatives regarding the implementation of the video assistant referee VAR technology in the Ghana's domestic league. The two-day meeting scheduled for October 31 and November 1, 2024 will take place in Accra with the full VAR project team from FIFA in attendance. This initial meeting, labeled the VAR kickoff meeting, is a critical first step in FIFA's implementation assessment approval program, an essential process for a member association aiming to adopt VAR technology. During this session, FIFA and GFA representatives will review comprehensive aspects of the VAR project and evaluate all necessary dependencies for its successful execution. Following the meeting, FIFA's approval will mark the official go-ahead for VAR implementation in Ghana's domestic league. The FIFA delegation will arrive in Ghana today, October 30, 2024. The initiative to introduce VAR to Ghanaian football reflects the association's commitment to enhancing the accuracy of refereeing decisions and aligning with global standards in officiating. This meeting is expected to pave the way for VAR to be effectively introduced into Ghanaian football as the association continues with its efforts to enhance the game in the country. And now the stage is set for a big showdown as eternal rivals Ghana and Nigeria prepare to battle it out for the WAFU B Under-20 Championship titled today, October 30th, 2024. In Togo, where the Black Satellite determined to reclaim the title from their rivals, while both Ghana and Nigeria have secured qualification to the Under-20 African Cup of Nations next year. The clash between two of the West African football powerhouses evoke emotions with a sub-regional title and bragging rights at stake. Ghana's journey to the final has been marked by resilience and teamwork after navigating their way through a tough group comprising host Togo, Benin and Niger. It promises to be an exciting final after both nations showcase their resilience and attacking prowess in the group stage and knockout phase. The WAFU B Under-20 Championship serves as the qualification for the 2025 African Under-20 Cup of Nations, with only Ghana and Nigeria going through. This 2025 Under-20 AFCON will also serve as the African qualifier for the 2025 FIFA Under-20 World Cup. There are the four semi-finalists will qualify automatically. And our former Ghana Football Association GFA President Kwesi Nyantakyi has hit journalist Dan Kwaku Yeboah and his media outfit Peace FM with a defamation lawsuit seeking 10 million cedis in damages on Tuesday morning. The former FIFA Council member also slapped Pulse Ghana and Ghana Web with the legal action seeking redress for allegation by Kwaku Yeboah that Nyantakyi embezzled $2 million from the GFA, who also served as a president before his resignation, and says that the assertion lack factual basis, framing them as reckless and defamatory. The other media outlets have been dragged into the lawsuit because they also use their platform to amplify the claims of Dan Kwaku Yeboah without any basis. In fact, the lawsuit by Nyantakyi said. In a lawsuit filed, Nyantakyi claims these outlets and Yeboah made defamatory remarks implicating him in theft from GFA's account, leading to significant damage to his reputation. The lawsuit argues that Yeboah's statements, as reported by named media outlets, were not only false but published with intent to malign him, noting that these allegations have caused him undue public distress and professional harm. Additionally, the lawsuit underscores Nyantakyi's contention that the claims were made without any contention to verify facts from credible sources, describing the outlet's publishing of their claims as irresponsible journalism. Through his counsel, he seeks damages and a formal retraction from the defendants. Well, that's how we wrap up the sports segment here on ABC in the morning. For more news updates, please follow our website at www.abcnewsgh.com. I am Derek Kumi Kisiedu.
to the Tech Trick segment on ABC in the morning. I am Eric Mello, and on today's segment, we are bringing you some basic rules to apply to your smart device, that is your phone and laptop. You're talking about how to extend battery health on your phone or laptop. So we will be bringing you that, but generally we also would be looking at how to maintain all of this. So we're first going to give you general tips, then we come down to how to apply such on your phones and on your laptop. So the general tips we will be giving you first is to avoid extreme temperature that is below 0 degrees Celsius or above 35 degrees Celsius. So it means that either your laptop or your phones would have to be in a room temperature below 0 degrees Celsius or above 35 degrees Celsius. So take note of that. Then again, keep your battery away from moisture or humidity. Most often we are always putting our phones beside a bottled water. Any chilled, I should say, humidity temperature, then it means that it can affect the battery health of our device. It means also that we also have to avoid deep discharging, that is letting battery completely drain. Sometimes we actually wait till our phone gets drained, exhausted, before we think about charging our phones. It means that we have to take note of that. Also, you have to update your device software regularly. Most of you, especially those who are using or not using smartphones, I'm not talking to you, but those of you that use smartphones, I'm talking to you. It means that you always constantly have to update your device software regularly. Again, use power saving mode. So if you're using an iPhone, there's a feature that says low power mode. It actually saves your battery from exhausting, okay? So if you're using a smartphone, now we'll be talking about how specific, if you're using a smartphone, you have to adjust with these rules and regulations. So let's begin with smartphone users who, I'm talking about the iPhone users and, the Samsung and all of that. All these people, you have to follow this. So the first one to aid your battery health is to adjust your screen brightness and auto lock settings. Now, this is very necessary. Sometimes because you want to see everything clear on your phone, you either brighten up your screen, I should say settings, it exhausts your battery. It's very overwhelming when you do that. So it means that you have to pay attention to that. Then again, turn off Bluetooth, GPS and Wi-Fi when not in use. Okay, so if you're not using your phone, kindly turn off your Bluetooth or GPS Wi-Fi when not in use. Again, you have to limit background app refresh. Now, how do you do that? It means that all those apps that you have on your phone that are not useful, they are not needed, but still on the app, it some way somehow drains your battery system. Experts have advised that if we refresh our phone, it means that we also have to limit the background app refresh so it does not drain our battery overwhelmingly. Also, you have to use adaptive battery features. Example, like Android adaptive batteries. We do have features on Android phones, so it can also help you in that. Again, charge in short intervals. It means that if your phone is between the range of about 20% to 80% capacity, it means that you either have to take your time before you actually charge it. Don't wait till it's actually like 90%, then you fix it in again. It can actually ruin your battery capacity. So between 20 to 80%, it means that you actually would have to stay on that level. If you reduce this to 15, dropping down, it means that then you would have to charge your battery. But if it's between 20 to 80%, it's good. The capacity is good, okay? Now, let's come back to how to do so on your laptop. So we're done talking about how to apply that on your smartphones. Now we're talking to how to adjust that on your laptop. So the first step you would have to take is to adjust your screen brightness and keyboard background or backlight, just as I said in how to apply that on your smartphone. It means also that whilst doing that, you also have to turn off unnecessary devices like your CDs and your DVD drives. Now, offices often, or more often than not, it happens. Sometimes you're actually working on something on your PC and you're still playing music, you're still using your DVD and your drives connected to your PC, and it's actually overwhelming your laptop. It reduces the battery quality and can affect you. It means that you also would have to stick with using a power saving mode, example like Windows Power Saver, to help you on that tangent. again, limit your background processes, as I've said earlier. It's just quite similar to applying such on your smartphone. So just have to limit certain. If your brightness is really high, you can actually contrast it a little less, so it can also help you or aid you with saving battery on your laptop. Then again, the most very important part most of you don't pay attention to is to clean dust from laptop vent and fans. The dust on your phones and your laptops actually reduces your battery system. In fact, it actually ruins your battery capacity. You have no idea how that actually works, okay? But experts have said that we always constantly have to clean the vent and fans of our systems, including our phones and laptops. Now, let's talk about battery calibration. So it's actually a way of helping your battery sustain, or actually getting more features on your battery capacity. So the first step you have to do is to let your battery completely drain to zero capacity. Now, I know most of you will not allow your battery to be drained about 0%. I'm in the office and I want to get information. I want to chat with my colleagues, and you're telling me that my battery capacity would have to reduce to 0% capacity before. It means that not everybody would be sticking to that, but of course experts have said that we have to do that. Then again, charge to 100% capacity. If you don't want your battery to reduce overwhelmingly, it means that you have to charge to its capacity, about 100% full capacity. Then again, charging habits you have to adapt to is to avoid overcharging. Most of you charge your battery, your phones, in the night, all through the morning. Experts say it's not good. 2, you also have to charge your device when battery level falls below 20%. I've said that again, and I'm repeating that. It's very important. It's very, very critical. Okay, so pay attention to that. Avoid rapid charging. You don't charge your battery every 5 seconds. Every 5 minutes. It's actually puts so much pressure on your battery system, and it reduces. In fact, it affects your battery capacity. Avoid physical damage to the battery. It actually can cause physical damage to your battery. So in conclusion, you can also extend your device's battery life and keep it performing very optimally good. I am Eric Mello. Catch you next time for another insightful tech trick update. ABC in the Morning continues right after this.
Million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Bawumia #1 on the ballot. Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Bawumia #1 on the ballot.
In 2017, the NPP inherited a fragmented digital infrastructure that limited public service.
We are currently here at Kanishi.
When the news breaks, we are there. In the heart of matters arising, we follow through with the right question. Don't miss a beat with our in-depth news analysis. From breaking news, special feature stories, latest news, we bring you the stories that matter. Our team of immersed reporters bring you the news as it happens. Join us every 6 a.m., 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. each day for a comprehensive look at the stories beyond the headlines.
2 to 1.
You're watching ABC News GH.
ABC News GH, your trusted source for news.
we aim to further expand and modernize Ghana's digital landscape. The journey towards a fully integrated digital society continues. Stand with us. Vote for innovation. Vote for Bawumia. Bawumia means business. In 2017, the NPP inherited a fragmented digital infrastructure that limited public service efficiency. Since then, we've revolutionized how services are delivered with the Ghana card and mobile money interoperability, enhancing speed and access.
ABC News GH. Let's take a look at what is happening on the various news portals. On abcnewsgh.com, this is it. Chief Justice orders closure of 7 courts in Boko. We've initially had the conversation on Boko. And Western Regional Customers' debt exceeds 23 million Ghana cedis. Ghana Water Company Limited reports. And resolve the forces Buhaha out of court. Political scientist Dr. Santiochiri says Ekiadronko's demise will not affect elections. The party has a choice. Lawyer Yao Dankwa also says so. Let's take a look at what is on myjoyonline.com. myjoyonline.com. Can transparency save the Electoral Commission's image? Professor Ajumendria is asking that on the way forward for the Electoral Commission. Man up and debate me, Mahama. Bawumia fires back with 50 questions to John Mahama. Professor Ajumendria says Charlotte Osei's removal by Akufo-Addo chipped away trust in the Electoral Commission. We've moved past taxation. It's robbery now. Domlevo says so. And on CT Newsroom, let's see what is also on CT Newsroom for our viewers, for your attention on CT Newsroom. Be a man and debate me. Bawumia replies Mahama with 50 questions. I'll win December polls. Forget NDC MPP's large following. Kofi Akpalu of the LPG says next NDC government will prioritize reconstruction of markets. Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, the running mate of the NDC, says UGMC blocked police from interrogating Salifu Amwako's son in the East Legon accident that claimed 2 young lives. Very unfortunate accident. Let's see what is also on the front pages of the various newspapers. The front pages of the various newspapers. Let's see what's on the Daily Searchlight. On the Daily Searchlight, let's see what's there. On the Daily Searchlight, carnage in Boko, more than 20 lives lost in renewed clash. That's on the front line. On the Daily Guide, reverse decision on vacant seats. Speaker to Supreme Court. You see that if you don't call dead, Mahama is my due successor by Nana Akufo-Addo. And Vice President shakes Accra. Don't politicize conflict, Chieftaincy Minister says. On the publisher also has some stories on the front line. Bawumia confident of victory, pledges monthly stipends for chiefs, and FDA trains disease surveillance officers on food safety. And the Agricultural Development Bank, ADB, records 3.4 billion Ghana cedis deposit growth. And on the Chronicle, let's see what's on the Chronicle to what is making the headlines on the Chronicle. Land Commission charged with money laundering. Land Commission officers charged with money laundering. And $3 billion is lost in grafts in Ghana annually. Crusaders Against Corruption say this. And on Daily Graphic, what's trending on Daily Graphic this morning, what news has made the headlines? Government urges ceasefire in Boko, imposes curfew and deploys security. And some 447,698 students placed in SHS's other institutions. Speaker says to Supreme Court to overturn its ruling. And finally, on the Daily Dispatch, we have restored lost livelihoods through cocoa rehabilitation. NAPO says that. Matthew Poku-Prempeh says the NPP has restored livelihoods, lost livelihoods through cocoa rehabilitation. And 10 Ghana Business Awards, NPA's director, NPA's Dr. Abdul Hamid is Public Sector Personality of the Year. This is on the Daily Dispatch. This morning on Twitter, Boko is trending. Boko is trending on Twitter. Boko is trending. FC Tamaklo says, earlier in the year, I had to go to Boko for work. and I didn't fully understand the scale of the conflict till we crossed Zebila and I saw what a ghost town Boko is. Most commercial spaces were shut down. There was heavy military and police presence. You could see bullet holes in buildings. The police station had raised their walls so high it was like a fortress. Boko is trending. Boko is trending. So these are the conversations around Boko, and it's making the headlines on X, formerly known as Twitter. On X, formerly known as Twitter. Emisa Arthur is also trending. Emisa Arthur is trending in the wake of their questions, the 5 questions John Mahama posed to Dr. Bawumia, and Dr. Bawumia also posing 50 questions to former President Mahama. Emisa Arthur is trending because in 2016, Dr. Bawumia posed some 170 questions to Emisa Arthur on the economy. So Emisa Arthur is trending. Electoral Commission is also trending on X, formerly known as Twitter. The Electoral Commission updated their X platform on the death of Madam Ekuya Donkor, the presidential candidate for the Ghana Freedom Party, and they said that the Electoral Commission has received information on the unfortunate passing of the presidential candidate for the Ghana Freedom Party, Madam Ekuya Donkor. May she rest in peace. And they continue to say that GFP can replace her on the ballot with another candidate. So Electoral Commission is trending. Various conversations on the Electoral Commission trending on X, formerly known as Twitter. So these are all of the trends happening on X. We brought you the newspaper reviews and also what is on the various news portals. For more news, visit our website www.abcnewsgh.com. www.abcnewsgh.com. Away from all of these trends, let's head straight into Business Fix.
2017, the NPP inherited a fragmented digital infrastructure that limited public service efficiency. Since then, we've revolutionized how services are delivered with the Ghana card and mobile money interoperability, enhancing speed and accessibility. Our efforts have greatly improved government interactions, making life easier for every Ghanaian. However, our vision doesn't stop here. We aim to further expand and modernize Ghana's digital landscape. The journey towards a fully integrated digital society continues. Stand with us. Vote for innovation. Vote for us.
In 2017, the NPP inherited an infrastructure network in need of renewal. We've since focused on building modern, resilient infrastructure, expanding roads, railways, and housing through strong partnerships with the private sector. As we enter the next chapter, a revitalized public works department will lead maintenance, with local governments enhancing district roads. We are committed to expanding railways and upgrading airports to connect Ghana for a stronger future. While much has been achieved, there's still more to do. Vote for Bawumia. Bawumia means business.
Well, on Business Fix today, we are still on the conversation on financial literacy, and we're looking at retirement. But before we look into retirement, we will be opening the phone lines for you to call today to have your say. On Ghana Speaks Today, you have the opportunity to speak on ABC in the morning. You let us know what is happening in your constituency, and the phone line to call is 0539161609, 0539161609. When it is time, we will open the line so that you two would have your say on Ghana Speaks. But straight into business fix. We're looking at planning for life after retirement. At any point in time, someone will retire. Since you have started work, there will come a time when you will retire, and we'll see how necessary it is to plan and how you can plan for life after retirement. Financial literacy is crucial for economic stability and personal empowerment, as we've established throughout the week. And it is the ability to understand and effectively manage personal financial matters, and encompasses a range of skills and knowledge that enables individuals to make informed decisions regarding budgeting, saving, investing, borrowing, and planning. Being financially literate allows you to be better prepared for specific financial roadblocks, which in turn decreases the chance of personal economic distress. It also means feeling empowered with the knowledge and skills you need to manage your money effectively, and being equipped with the understanding you need to make effective money choices, and which is key to building a stable financial life. Financial literacy has a positive impact on involvement with pensions and the quality of retirement and pension-related decisions. Being financially literate will go a long way to improving your pension decisions. The question is, are you deliberate about planning for retirement? How well are you positioned to make decisions about your life after you have laid down your tools? Most people do not know the important aspects of pensions, of any pension system, or their own pension arrangements. So some people have not even made arrangements as regards to their pensions. And studies have shown that knowledge of investment options where individuals have financial literacy are more likely to understand the different retirement options available to them, the different investment options available to them, and this enables them make informed choices that can enhance their retirement savings. Financial literacy helps individuals create budgets, manage expenses, and prioritize saving for retirement. Those who are financially literate tend to allocate more towards retirement savings. And a good understanding of financial principles allows individuals to assess risks and choose investments that align with their retirement goals and risk tolerance, ultimately influencing your retirement readiness. To be financially literate means that you are thinking long term and you make important decisions that will affect your old age. Peter Yawose is a chartered financial and investment analyst and also a chartered economist. We'll speak with him on planning for life after retirement. Good morning, Peter. We're glad to have you this morning. Hello, Peter. Good morning. Peter, we're unable to hear you. Kindly unmute your microphone so we can hear you well. Good morning, Peter. Peter, can you hear me? Okay. I see you can hear us, but we cannot hear you. And if your microphone is on mute, it's on mute. Kindly unmute us so that we can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you
okay?
Perfectly now. Yes, it is. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you too for having me. Good morning to your viewers.
Peter, why must a person plan for their retirement?
Retirement would happen to everybody, and the earlier we plan, the better for us all. Even as we are working now, we are still short of money. How much more when we go on retirement and we don't have that kind of money that can sustain us? So planning for retirement is very essential for every person. Now, I think the issue that when it comes to retirement, our focus is probably on when we are on retirement, but the issue is that how do we plan towards that retirement? And I want to focus on 3 key areas. First is our lifestyle, the lifestyle that we live now, and its effects on retirement. Can you imagine that you go on retirement and all your savings, your investments, you are using these funds on medication? I don't think it's cool. The second thing I want to also talk on is investment, and the third one is insurance. So let me start with lifestyle. We are working now. What kind of lifestyle do you want to have, even at retirement? The lifestyle could be having daily exercise, keeping fit, because this body that we have is the same body that we will have when we are on retirement. I always advise that we must talk to our dietitians on our diet. We must exercise, because can you imagine that you go on retirement and we're having a lot of health issues? We are strong now, but at our old age, our body needs to be strong to carry us on. So we need to have a well balanced life, even at our working life, so that when we go on retirement, we still have that kind of strength to be able to enjoy our retirement. The next thing is planning for our retirement. The next thing is having insurance. It's very key. We all want to retire, but we don't know tomorrow. So having an insurance policy, and if anything happens, at least we can fall on that insurance policy. We are the breadwinners. Assume we are no more. Would our family still maintain that kind of lifestyle that we wish for them? That's where it's very important for us to have insurance policy. Life insurance. Assume probably you have brilliant kids, they are going to school, and you want the best for them in the future. One day, you go to work and you don't return. Will your kids be able to have that kind of future that you've always dreamt for them? That's why you must always have life insurance in place. So at least when something happens, they can still fall on it, and life still moves on as if you are still with them. The third thing is having insurance, investment. We all know that at retirement, we still want to maintain our lifestyle. Without proper investment now, what kind of funds are you going to rely on? I was talking to one client. I've been managing this client for the past 13 years. 12 years ago, the person bought about 77,000. Currently, the person's investment is worth almost 1.5 million. And the person is almost at retirement. This person can plan very well for his retirement because the person has invested. And when it comes to investment, we shouldn't think about we have so much before we invest. We can start with little by little. I can assure you that if in the next 10 years you start investing every month for like, let's say you have 500 Ghana cedis, you're investing monthly. By the next 10 years, at an average rate of, let's say, 50%, being conservative, next 10 years, you should have not less than 137,000. If you are investing for like, let's say, 1,500, the next 10 years, you should be having not less than 412,000. So investments must be planned very well. Once you are planning towards your retirement, you must ensure that you have these things in place. Your lifestyle, you must check your lifestyle, because you can't go on retirement and all that you've saved for, you've invested for, you're going to use it on medication. Okay. I don't think that is cool.
Well, Peter, you don't think that is cool indeed. When is the best time to plan for your retirement and start making savings or investment towards that?
I think the best time was when you started having your first paycheck. But it's not too late. You can still start now. Nothing stops you from investing. Let's invest. You can start now. If you have about 20 years towards retirement, let's start now. Let's put funds aside. Let's also have insurance.
Okay.
And also make it in our lifestyle.
Let's make it
our life choices are key.
For people who receive about 1,500 Ghana cedis, how much can they set aside to make for a good investment?
Okay, I think there's a verse in the Bible that says that man, know thyself. You know yourself. You know how much you earn, but you also want to have a better life at retirement. You can have a standing order on your account. Before even you receive that money, you might think it's small, but before you even start spending, that money moves out from your account. Even if it means you are saving 10%, let's say you are earning 1,500, so 10%, 150, or maybe 200 Ghana cedi. I think when it comes to retirement, let's be conscious about it, because at retirement we don't have the strength to go about and work again. But the little thing that we put in place, the little fund that we put in place, and its compounding effect is what can take us into retirement.
Okay, Peter, it's been said that 8.1 million Ghanaian workers are not covered by any pension scheme as it stands. 8.1 million Ghanaian workers are not covered by a pension scheme.